All right. So how's it going, Jordan? You said you're over 18, and did you disagree with what I had on the board?
Yeah, but I'm not affiliated with any party.
Mhm.
I'm independent, but I would say I don't think leftist policies are better for society. I do disagree.
All right, sure. Did you want me to explain which leftist policies I'm talking about, and then we can see if those are better for society or not?
Well, can I tell you one policy I really disagree with?
Sure.
That for I think forever now leftists have pushed. That would be abortion,
All right. Well, what about it?
legalizing abortion up to 21 weeks or I think higher possibly.
Yeah, sure. Well, what will be the issue? Because when it comes to abortion, right? I think a woman should have a right to her own body. We should promote bodily autonomy
It's
as
not
much as
her body
possible.
though. Yeah, scientifically, it's not her body though. It's separate. It's separate and unique DNA at the moment of conception, so it's not her body, and she shouldn't have the right to choose for that separate DNA
Why
and
not? If
unique.
she doesn't consent to that DNA being part of her body, why can't she do that?
Yeah, she does. She had sex.
That doesn't mean that she consented to
Sex
being pregnant.
doesn't. Yeah, she did. That's what sex is.
If I walk outside, do I consent to be hit by? Hold on, hold
Nobody.
on, hold
Wait.
on, hold
No.
on, Jordan,
Nobody gets
Jordan, Jordan,
pregnant.
Jordan,
No.
Jordan,
No. This is the problem.
Jordan,
Nobody gets
Jordan,
pregnant
Jordan. Stop,
out of
stop,
nowhere.
Jordan, stop, Jordan. There's a
No. No.
conversation.
Okay. Go ahead.
There's a conversation. So Jordan,
But be
if I
realistic,
walk
man. Be
outside,
realistic.
Jordan, if I walk
I'm just
outside,
telling you.
if I walk outside, do I consent to being hit by a truck?
Go again.
If I walk outside, do I consent to being
Okay.
hit by a truck?
Do you consent by? Well, what's the? No, I would say no. Depends on the situation. But
Right. If I didn't consent to be hit by a truck, but if I walk outside on the sidewalk, I possibly can be hit by a truck still, right? Just if someone drives recklessly.
oh yeah, for sure.
Right. So it's the same thing with sex. Just because they have fun time doesn't mean they consent to be pregnant, no matter what happens.
Oh, that's not true. The sex is a part of that.
Yeah, we know that if you have
And
SEX,
even with condoms.
we all know if you
Yeah.
have SEX, it's a possibility for you to get pregnant. We all know that. But
And also, yeah.
but
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
but that doesn't mean that if it happens, that means you necessarily have to go through with it. You can revoke that consent anytime.
Well, okay. Well, let's talk about it. That's where I disagree. But first of all, I just want to say, even with condoms and protections, that's only an 80% success rate.
Mhm.
So when both partners are having sex, they should know that there's a 20% chance that she could get pregnant, that anything could go wrong. So they should, see those chances. They should expect the unexpected. They know what they're doing. But
Mhm.
anyways, you say that she has the right to end that pregnancy, and whatever
Yes.
that fetus. But I don't think so. I don't think she has the right. I don't think it's justified to kill a innocent human being just because oopsie, I had fun time, oopsie.
You think a
You
zygote is a
know,
human?
a fetus, yes, it is a human because at the moment of conception, even biologists say life begins at conception.
Yeah, I
Um,
know that it's alive, but so are cockroaches.
when con- when conception happens, cockroaches aren't humans. That's a stupid example.
But you said they're alive.
Um,
Like it doesn't matter if it's human or
yeah, but
not.
we're humans,
We're,
buddy,
I
buddy. Whoa,
I understand that we're
whoa, are
I
you
understand that we're
comparing?
humans. I
Wait,
understand that
wait,
we're
wait,
I
wait, wait,
understand
wait.
I
We're
understand that
not
we're
comparing
humans.
humans to
Jordan,
cockroaches.
Jordan,
This is
chill, chill,
very
chill.
unintelligent.
I'm not comparing humans to cockroaches. I'm comparing life to life because you said it's alive, right? Like
A
being
human
alive.
fetus,
Hold on,
yes.
wait, listen, hold on,
A
bro. Let me
human
finish.
fetus. You
Let
want me to
me
be
finish.
specific?
Let me finish.
You want me to be
I
specific?
understand.
Go
Let me
ahead.
finish. Let me finish. I understand that they're humans, right? But your argument was that, oh, it's alive. We know cockroaches are alive, right? So it being alive is not the point. Your entire point is it being human. I understand that it's human, but the reason why I don't give it more
Yeah,
consideration until about 21 or 22 weeks is because there's no conscious experience yet. When there's a conscious experience, that's when
it
I give it
doesn't
more
matter.
considerations. That part matters to me. That the reason why that matters to me
Okay,
is
that matters
because
to
is
you.
because is because you would not call it murder if my grandmother is brain dead and I unplugged the machine. You wouldn't call that murder, would you?
I heard this argument a lot. It's pretty.
It's yes or no, bro.
Let me think. I'm thinking because that's a good argument. A grandmother who's brain dead, correct?
Right. If she's brain dead, there's no brain activity, and I unplug the machine, you wouldn't call that murder.
Trying to think. Yeah, but I would say there's a big difference between um, a fetus and that.
Right. So the brain activity in the fetus happens around 21, 22 weeks, which is why at that point, if abortion does
No, the
happen,
brain develops at 6 weeks. The brain develops at 6 weeks,
right,
but
but no, the brain starts to develop at 6 weeks, but there's no really activity there. There's no conscious experience. That doesn't happen until around
yeah.
21 to 22. 21 to 22. So at that point, that's when I give it more consideration. And I said, if an abortion does happen, it should either be because the mother's life is in danger, or we should prioritize trying to keep the fetus alive, which happens around 22 weeks. You can typically keep it alive. Even at 21, you can probably typically keep it alive. Sometimes there's a lower chance, but sometimes at 22, you can definitely keep it alive. So if she wants to have an abortion, go ahead and I can't really stop it, but you can have one that can keep the fetus alive, even though that's dangerous. I don't think that should happen, right? Because you're putting something else in danger. But that's around the time I give it more consideration. Before that, a zygote doesn't have human or any type of like interaction. There's nothing there. So it's just like how unplugging my brain dead grandma.
I'm trying to think of an argument. You said it's not like a human and stuff. Like it doesn't have any of that. I would say I'm trying to think. I would say there's humans right now who are disabled. They don't. I don't think they have. I'm trying to think. I forgot what it's called. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. I don't want both partners. I'm going to say both partners because it's both of their fault. I don't want them to get away. I don't want them to get away with what sex comes with. Sex comes with a price to pay. It comes with a consequence. Okay, and that is bearing a child. And I think it's wrong to kill that child. Because let me tell you something. When conception happens, your eye color is determined, your height is determined, your gender is determined. All these things are determined. And I mean, it's just your personal opinion. You don't see that as valuable. But to me, it's valuable. It's just common sense. That's where we all began, dude. You began there. I began there. We all started there, dude. That
Yeah, I
is
know.
valuable to me. That is valuable, man. And I don't want. I think we lost. I forgot when abortion became legal in the 1970s. We've lost 70 million children. Most of them are black. Not that that matters, but
Mhm.
those are a lot of black and brown kids who have freaking died, who have been murdered, who didn't have a chance to live on this earth. I see that as wrong, man. I mean, you have your opinion, and I respect it. I mean, I respect that you just have opinions. You know, we live in a free country, but
Mhm.
I see that as wrong, man.
All right, I mean that's all good and well. So if you don't want to have an abortion, you and your wife don't have one,
Well, no, if it was up to me, I would ban all abortion.
right? And the reason why I wouldn't is because I'm gonna ask you this question: if we ban abortions tomorrow, should 15-year-old boys get vasectomies too?
Hey, what?
If we ban abortions tomorrow, would 15-year-old boys have to get vasectomies too?
I don't know if it's static. I can understand you at the end.
Vasectomies. You know what vasectomies? You know what vasectomies are, right?
Can you remind me?
Vasectomies is when basically when they operate on a male and they tie up his tubes, so his his baby juice isn't filled of the cells that create babies.
His
I have to
and
talk like that because of
that would
TikTok
stop
purposes.
it. I'm confused. Wait, maybe I'd have
So
to do more research on that.
yeah,
It would stop him from.
yeah,
Yeah.
it will stop him from
Oh no,
producing
I
the
wouldn't support that.
right.
I wouldn't support that.
Right, exactly. But the issue is that you put in a law for one person to have their body controlled, but not the other person.
But we already have laws that kind of controls people, and like the draft, right?
We do have laws that control you, but the state can't make you. The state can't control what you do with your own body all the way. Like for example, do we
Well, we
the
disagree. We disagree though if that's her body or not. That's where we disagree. Which yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's her body.
But the thing is, it is if this
You
zygote
need
or
DNA.
hold on, let me finish. If this
Yeah,
zygote
go
or
ahead. Go ahead.
fetus or anything like that, if this zygote or fetus or what's the other thing? I forgot what the next step was called. But if it's or embryo, there we go. If it's feeding off her body, why can't she revoke that consent in order for that thing to not feed off her body anymore? Why does she not? Why should she not have that right? That's what I'm talking about.
I don't see anything in my view. In
Mhm.
according to science, I know we disagree. I don't see it. I don't see any way to justify killing a baby. The only exception, wait, pause. The only exception I probably have for abortion, and it's a lose lose situation for me, is if the mother's life is at risk. That would probably be the only exception.
Yeah,
But that would be a lose lose.
and for me, when it's at like 22 weeks and the mother's life is at risk, then yeah, let's prioritize the mother. You see what I'm saying? But and even then,
Yeah.
I would say if we can keep the fetus alive, we can keep the fetus alive. But if we can't, and the mother life is in danger, let's prioritize the mother. I also say instance of rape and incest, right? I would say in those
Oh
instances.
no, I disagree on that. I disagree on that. But
So
people
you
think
would
I'm
for
radical for
so
that.
you would force an 11-year-old girl, an 11-year-old who got raped by her uncle to have that baby?
Well, I would see what the doctor says. If the doctor says she could proceed this procedure, like she could give birth and she won't die, I'd say yeah. I'm not gonna kill an innocent life.
That's pretty sick, bro.
Hey, exactly. People think I'm radical for that, but I value life, man. I'm sorry, dude. I value life.
I
If that makes
also
me a radical,
I also
if that makes me a far right, then I guess
I also value life, but I don't value all life. Even you
you
don't
don't value
value all
all life.
life.
Oh no, sorry. Let me rephrase because yeah, you're right. I messed up. I value innocent life. Sorry.
Mhm.
My apologies.
No,
Because you're
all
right.
good and
There's,
well.
there's there's a lot of lives that I don't value,
Mhm.
like rapists, killers.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
exactly.
right.
Yeah, we wouldn't value their
Benjamin
lives.
Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu. You know.
Yeah, I don't value that life at all. Yeah, you see, we definitely agree there. Yeah, I don't value that life at
Yeah.
all.
Okay. We agree.
But
Wait. We agree. Israel's evil and they're genocidal freaks, right?
right, we don't value those at all.
Okay. At least we
But
agree
yeah,
there.
yeah,
That's what I like
yeah.
about liberals.
Mhm.
Liberals, at least they agree with me. I'm a traditional conservative. We agree that Israel is evil and they're genocidal freaks, ethnically cleansing the innocent Palestinians.
Right. So we agree there.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
when it comes to to this issue of abortion, when it comes to things like rape, incest, especially if it's a child like 11, 12 years old and they got raped by their
Yeah.
cousin or uncle, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and side with the child there and say if they want to go ahead and end this pregnancy and not traumatize them more to have the baby of their rapist, then yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and have them do that.
Well,
But my
why not
position is
adoption? I forgot to mention that.
there
Why
is
not put it up for adoption?
there is adoption, but our adoption industry sucks in America. So that's why I'm not big on adoption. I want to adopt one day, but our adoption and foster
Oh,
and
good for
this
you, man.
our adoption and foster our foster program is completely garbage. But besides that, what I would say is that I understand how this is a hard issue. So what I want to do, which
Yeah.
is why I say leftist policies are better for society, is because if we put in policies that will actually lower the rates of abortion, then everybody will be happier, right? Even if we keep it legal, they happen less because we put in policies that have them happen less. And those policies are usually robust sex education, more access to contraceptives, uh, uh, like more higher wages, things like that. Basically policies that increase education, increase the amount of uh, spending income that people have,
Yeah.
that decreases childcare costs, and then
Yeah.
we would see a lower rates of abortion, because a lot of the times, or the reason why I see people get abortions is because over the lifetime of a child they just can't afford it. You see what I'm saying? So they
Yeah.
just go ahead and get the abortion because the abortion is $300 rather than 18 years of maybe 60 to $70,000 that they don't know what's going to come from. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they have abortion.
Yeah.
So if we put in policies that will lower the rates, everybody wins, right?
I don't know. I don't know. But are you down for one more
And
topic?
there.
Do you have time, or are you gonna move to the next person?
Yeah, we're at about 15 minutes. I usually get it by 15, but we could go ahead and keep going. I'm gonna get off in a little bit
Okay.
right
Yeah.
after you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
we'll agree to disagree on abortion, but you made some good arguments. I respect that. But I'm trying to think of a topic. I was gonna mention immigration, but I feel like that's kind of boring. I don't know, because
mhm.
for I'm for securing the border, and I'm for less immigration overall. Actually, like I know that may sound crazy. I used to be like deport the illegals,
Mhm.
but now I'm like, let's not allow any more immigrants.
Why not?
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, why not? Because if an immigrant wants to come to America, experience the American dream, wants to contribute to our society, what's the issue?
The issue is a lot of immigrants don't align with our culture and our values in America. They don't speak English. They don't, they just don't speak English. They don't
Mhm.
have the same values. They just, I don't see them. I don't see a benefit of them coming here. You know.
My parents are from Haiti, right? What values do you think, like, they don't speak English? That's my parents do speak English now because they've been here for like 40 years. But when it comes to new Haitian immigrants, what values do you think that they're not going to have in Haiti that would contradict the American values?
Like I said, language. I would say. Um, I mean, I don't want to be. I don't
Can
want to sound.
can they learn
I was
English?
gonna say,
They can learn English, right?
yeah. I don't know too much about Haiti,
Hmm.
but I don't know too much about Haiti. I don't know how they treat women, but
Hmm.
I don't know. So I can't say anything. That'll be dishonest of me. But I'm trying to think, because my grandparents were immigrants, but the thing is, they came here legally and they came here learning English, which
Hmm.
I is the right way and the good way. That's why yeah.
Okay. Um, but when it comes to like how they treat women, one of the thing that I've always said is that even in America, a lot of women here would say that America doesn't know how to treat women. The feminist movement started here in America. You know what I mean? So I would say that there's a lot of arguments that even here in America we don't treat women well. But I think the more of the concern would be, are they like abusive to their women? Even in cultures where abuse is kind of, for lack of a better word, allowed, even in those cultures, most of the married men are not abusing their women, right? So when it comes to things like that, most people don't abuse their women anyway. So what will we like when we say the different cultures, the different values? We have to ask, like, what exactly do we mean here? Like, what do you think is going to be different between
Also, I forgot
them
to
and us?
mention. Yeah, I forgot to mention. This may sound radical of me, but another reason why I don't want no more immigrants is because we need more white people in America. We need more Europeans, and
Why?
they're going down the slump. The birth rate is horrible, and that's on them, by the way.
So
I like that's on them, but we need more whites in America.
why?
America is a white country, is a European.
No,
Well,
it's not.
like the founding fathers were European descent, and we
So
should keep it that way.
why?
We should keep it that way. Well, I mean,
Why?
because that's how they intended it. If they saw the country today, they wouldn't like it. They would be
So
fucking disturbed.
so
What do you mean so?
they own slaves. Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah, they own slaves. So
Not all of them, by the way. Not all of them, but okay.
not all of them, but many of our presidents did. Like, I think our first 10 presidents owned slaves. Fuck what they say.
Oh no, that's not true. John Adams, he didn't own slaves.
John Adams.
Yeah, he didn't own slaves. I
John.
learned that in history back then.
Okay, yeah, John Adams owned slaves. Okay, so great for John Adams. But like,
Yeah,
many of the founding fathers owned slaves. So who cares? Fuck what they think. I mean, yeah,
which was
sure. Like
wrong.
these are terrible ideologies to have. Like, this country is only for white people. That's a terrible ideology to have. You
No,
don't think
not
so?
only for white people. It should be majority white, because
Why?
whites, because we need whites. We need Europeans. Europeans have just are the founding of this country.
So
So I just think we need them.
no, we don't. What do you mean need them? What does that mean?
Europe is. What do you mean?
What do you mean we need them? What is that? What exactly does that mean? We need America to be white in order for it to
We
function?
need you.
That's kind of silly.
Listen, no offense. Listen, no offense. I may sound crazy, and I don't give a shit. It's 2026 now. Other races haven't built anything that as good as the Europeans. I'm not saying all of them, but they haven't built anything that's close to the Europeans. Have been the conquerors like the Europeans have built
Yeah, they
most of the
have.
inventions. Not all of them, but inventions that we use today.
Who
Like the Europeans have.
let me
All the
ask you
philosophers,
let me ask you a
all
question.
the
Hold on,
philosophers,
wait, stop,
all the
chill,
scientists.
chill, chill,
I'm
chill,
just
chill,
telling
chill.
you. I'm just saying.
All right, so
I'm not
Jason,
done.
I understand, Jason. I understand. The problem is
Jason, Jordan.
Jordan. I'm sorry, Jordan. I'm sorry about that. All right, so Jordan,
Now you're
the
good.
problem is that you're looking at this from a very Eurocentric lens because that's mostly what you've been educated on. Did you know that tribes in Africa, there are kingdoms in Africa that has C-section before the Europeans and had surgery with anesthesia before Europeans got there? Did you know? Did you know about that?
Yeah, but did the Africans create a car?
Wait, hold on, wait. Did you
Were
know?
most of
Wait,
the philosophers
hold on, Jordan,
were most of the philosophers Africans?
chill.
I'm just saying.
Jordan. I need you to stop reacting and actually like kind of take in what I just said here.
Go ahead.
African kingdoms, they had surgery with anesthesia.
Kingdoms.
Hold on, listen,
What
bro.
kingdom?
Bro, listen.
No offense, man, but what kingdoms?
Bro, can you wait for a second? Stop
Go
reacting
ahead,
to everything
sorry.
and actually listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
There were civilizations in Africa that had
False.
anesthesia.
That is false. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but that's just false, man.
It's not.
That's false.
Can you do me a favor?
There's no.
Can you do me a favor? There were no civilizations. There were no civilizations except for Egypt. Hold on, wait. Stop.
Northern
You said,
Africa
hold on,
stop.
Stop. You said except for Egypt, right?
Yes.
What is Great Zimbabwe?
Go ahead.
What is Great Zimbabwe?
What is? I don't know if I can.
You don't know exactly. Hold on, wait. I'm just gonna ask you. Hold on, wait. Stop. I'm just gonna ask you a quick question. I'm just gonna ask you quick questions, Jordan. And if you don't know, just say I don't know. Okay. What was the Kush civilization? What was Kush?
I don't know.
What was Aksum?
Never heard, man.
What was Ashanti?
I don't know.
What was Mali? What was Nok? What was the Luba civilization? What was Congo?
It's gonna be like I got you.
No. It is I'm not being unfair. It isn't I got you because you said except for Egypt, Africa didn't have civilizations, and I just named you 7. So this actually proves my hold on. This proves my point. Everything that you're saying, everything that you're claiming, comes from a Eurocentric lens because you don't know about it because you're only taught about Europe. That's the problem. It's not that these things didn't exist. Is that you don't know about it because you never taught about it.
To talk about
when I say there is something to talk about, because at the end of the day, I just told you that the Nok civilization had writing outside of Egypt and outside of Europe. They also had technology to do surgeries without anesthesia before Europe. We know about this because when European explorers actually went into Central Africa, they described them having surgeries and C-section, and not only that, not just surgeries and C-section. I forgot what else I was gonna say, but they had surgeries and C-sections and astronomy all without Europe. Oh yeah, and even inoculation, like the idea to inoculate yourself. From like where vaccines came from.
Africa,
hold on, listen.
I'm sorry, man.
Listen. The idea to inoculate yourself actually came from Africans. Did you know that?
Wait, repeat it again.
The idea to inoculate yourself. You know what inoculation is, right?
No, remind me.
Inoculation is where vaccines came from, where you take the dead part of the disease and you put it over a bleeding part of your arm, and that vaccinates you against smallpox. Did you know Africans figured that out before Europeans? So when you say when you say that nothing came out of Africa, that's only because Europe basically colonized the world and erased a lot of that history. A lot of stuff was coming out of Africa. You just don't know about it because that's not what you're.
Oh heck no, nothing came out of Africa, dude. No philosophers. Well, I'm not gonna say
because you don't know about them. That's the only reason you don't know about them.
Oh, there's none. There's nothing to talk about. Even Africans don't talk about it
because they were colonized. Because in Africa, did you know? Hold on, wait. Let me. What do you? Hold on. Stop. Jordan. Be quiet for a second. Hold on, Jordan. Be quiet for a second. Jordan, be quiet for a second. I'm gonna ask you one question. Right? How does the education system in Ghana work? What did they teach you in history in Ghana?
I didn't go to Ghana, man.
Exactly. You don't fucking know. This is my issue, bro.
I talk to Africans, though, dude.
I know you talk to Africans, but even Africans themselves will tell you prior to colonialism, they're not taught that in their schools because the colonists are the ones who set up their school system. So of course they don't know a lot about it. A lot of Africans will tell you that pre-colonial history, they know about it when they leave Africa. because they're not taught about pre-colonial history in Africa because the colonists are the ones who set up their system.
Okay. Let me respond.
So when you say, hold on, wait. So when you say nothing comes out of Africa, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because there are plenty of things that happen. No, you don't, because you didn't Google. You don't even Google this. You don't even Google this.
But there's nothing interesting.
You don't even Google this. Dude, what are the walls of Benin? Do you know what the walls of Benin are?
There's nothing interesting, dude.
What are the walls of Benin then? What are the walls of Benin? 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 There's over 500 languages in Nigeria alone.
Dude, did you guys create paper?
There's over 500 languages in Nigeria alone. Timbuktu had paper. Timbuktu had paper.
But you guys did not create paper.
Timbuktu had paper.
What are you? Wait, go again.
Timbuktu had paper. Timbuktu has libraries in there that have paper books. Timbuktu has paper. This is what I'm saying. You don't know what you're talking about, dude. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Wait, explain to me.
You just said Africa didn't have paper, and the libraries of Timbuktu have books that have paper. I'm getting frustrated because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're being up here talking all this shit, saying that thing that you don't know what you're talking about, but you don't. You just said that Africa didn't have paper, and the libraries of Timbuktu have books with paper.
I said it didn't invent
paper. The Chinese invented paper.
Thank you.
We all know that though. Europe didn't have paper either.
Okay,
what are you talking about?
I'll give you a challenge. Give me something interesting to learn about Africa.
The walls of Benin.
Except Northern Africa.
The walls of Benin. The walls of Benin.
The walls of...
The walls of Benin. Look up the Mali Kingdom. Look up Mansa Musa. Look up the Congo civilization. Look up the Great Zimbabwe. Look up the Nok civilization. Look up Kush. Look up Nubia. Look up Aksum.
Hey, can I tell you something?
Look up Queen Nzinga.
Okay, I'll search those up. Let me tell you.
No, you won't.
Even Africans in Africa are tired.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and in the live, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I do appreciate y'all being up. We got the 16K likes.